it started the 19th, but I figured we would give ourselves a few days just to kind of settle into the energy. And also, I was busy. Today is the only day I could do it. So it kind of worked out that way. But I would love to hear how you guys are doing, how you guys are feeling in this new Aries season. Aries also is basically the new year. It's the zodiacal new year. Aries is the energy that starts the cycle all over again from Aries to Pisces. So, I don't know, maybe hopefully for a lot of us, our energies are starting to feel a bit more renewed. Perhaps some of us are getting a zest for life, but I haven't pulled any cards yet, but I was doing a circle about a week ago. And we hadn't officially entered Aries yet, but we were talking, and I wanted to teach a little bit in that circle about the energies. So let me bring out my giant RWS today because I want to talk to you guys about what this energy looks like in the tarot. So Aries is represented by the card of the Emperor. And obviously the Sun card is right here. And this represents the sun. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm bringing it through because this is basically what this season is looking like, the sun in Aries. Now, the Emperor energy has to do with the self. Aries is very much about the self. I think the mantra for Aries is I am. I don't know all 12 of them, but I believe that Pisces is I feel, I think Virgo is I think. But so they all have a bit of an I mantra. So the Emperor's card here is the divine masculine, but he is cloaked in red, which is the energy of Mars. Mars rules Aries. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is even though Mars is the Greek god Ares, right, which kind of goes with Aries, and it's an energy of war and fire and perhaps a bit of destruction. In the tree of life, it's right here. See this red? This is called Gabora, which is ruled by Mars. And this whole pillar is actually the feminine pillar. I find that to be really, really interesting because one, we have Mars, very associated with the masculine, at least in modern times, and Emperor, very associated also with masculine. And Aries is a masculine energy, but it sits right in the middle, as we just saw, right in the middle of the feminine pillar. So what I get from this energy is even though he is the masculine energy within all of us, he is cloaked and guided by the feminine. A lot of us, and it does make sense, a lot of us see the Emperor and the Empress as counterparts, which they are in some way, right? Empress, Emperor, King, Queen, things like that. But I also see the Emperor as almost the son of the Empress because he is cloaked in the feminine, he's guided by the feminine. So as they are counterparts, he's also the son of the divine feminine, a bit like Horus is the son of Isis, right? He's the emperor, but he's a son of the mother nature, of goddess Isis, of the empress, of the high priestess as well. So there's that going on with him. The emperor too is a card of the higher self. He is us in our most authentic self when we embody that self energy. That's the emperor. The emperor, he, even though he's sitting down, there's an armor underneath this cloak, this red cloak, which tells me that he's ready to fight. He's ready to like move forward at any moment. He he takes dominion over his empire, right? And that's us. If it's us taking dominion over our masculine energy, over our feminine energy, and everything in between. I know that the language in Kabbalah, the language in tarot, especially, I think the language that originated these things, which was, right from the 1700s, a bit outdated. But I still use that language because it's what I learn and it's what I'm learning from the books. But please understand that when I say masculine and feminine, and especially this balance of the two, it's actually everything in between. We do have both within all of us. And yes, we can go to extremes. And most of us kind of live in that middle, right? So if you are swaying back and forth, it's okay. It's all part of this self-alchemical process. Now, the Sun card, going back a little bit to what I said, I did a circle about a week ago, and I pulled these cards and I was teaching them. This was the teaching. So the Sun is coming through right now. We talked about Emperor and Aries energy and the self, higher self energy. Now the Sun is coming through. The Sun is, we have this baby here, he's holding the banner of victory. We have sunflowers kind of always being guided by the sun, always being guided. Also, one thing that I do want to say, now that I talked about being guided by the sun, the esoteric name for the Emperor is called the Son of the Morning. Now, the Empress is called what? The Morning Star, right? Venus energy. She's the daughter of the morning star, daughter of the mighty ones. So here we have Son of the Morning. Another reason why I kind of also believe that the Emperor is the son of the Empress. Then we have the Sun, which associates with the Son of the Morning as well. And the Sun is joy. It's being guided by the light. It's victory, but it's also clarity. We are coming out of Pisces season, and Pisces is like the way I talked about, the way I envisioned it when I was talking about these cards and us coming out of Pisces energy is Pisces is not only the primordial waters of the universe, of the cosmos, but it's the blackness. It's when you go deep enough underwater where you don't see, where the sun doesn't shine anymore. And I feel like we went deep sea diving, if that makes sense. I've never gone deep sea diving, of course, but it just feels like we went in Pisces season, we went out into the ocean and we cast our net deep into the waters and we fished some stuff out. We fished some shadow self. We fished some internal turmoil, things that have been going on under the surface. But now it feels like we're on the boat on the surface of the ocean and we're bringing these things up. We haven't quite seen what they are yet. Perhaps we're starting to. But that's what I feel like this Aries season is about, is bringing clarity to shadow parts of the self so then we can step deeper into our higher selves. So we can bring clarity to shadow parts of the psyche so we can overcome these things, heal these things, process them, digest them, and allow for the self to emerge, for the higher self to emerge, for us to really figure out who we are, what do we want, what are we willing to put up with or not put up with, things like that. So I hope that's making sense to you guys so far. So let's pull some cards. Also, we got a lot going on this season. So March 25th, I almost said Mars, because Mars rules Aries, but it's March 25th. We have the lunar eclipse / full moon in Libra. March 31st is officially day of Easter, but a lot of us are starting to celebrate Ostara or Ostra, depending on where in the world you are, or some sort of spring deity that perhaps you pray to. April 1st is April Fool's Day, but of course, Mercury goes retrograde that day. Very, very Mercury, right? Very Hermes, very Thoth, very Loki in some way, where it's the very issue in some way as well, which is like this bit of a trickster energy going on. We're going to shake stuff up. And then April 8th is the solar eclipse slash the new moon in Aries. Some teachers on social media and things like that will discourage you from doing anything during eclipses, during eclipse season. I think a lot of us are like, I'm going to manifest during eclipse season. And they're like, I am here to tell you, do whatever you want. Do whatever feels right. Now, the reason why these teachers say don't do manifestation work during eclipse season is because eclipses can be unpredictable, and they have an energy of their own. It's almost like whatever you're doing, the cosmos is like, I have my own agenda, as I think the cosmos kind of always does. But we take control of it a lot of the times with new moons, full moons, whatever cycles you do in your own practice. But eclipses tend to bring their own energy to things. So that's why people discourage other people from doing any kind of manifestation ritual work. But honestly, go with what feels right to you. I would simply suggest, like, if you want to work with the eclipse energy, meditate first. Pull some cards first, feel a journal first, lean into it first. Almost like asking the cosmos, hey guys, like, what's going on? What's coming up for me? What should I kind of focus on? What should I vibe with during this eclipse season? Should I do anything? And then if you're, for example, I'm looking at the Queen of Cups in reverse. Perhaps this is a no. Perhaps this is a no, just let the waters do their thing. We just talked about Pisces season and being the primordial waters. Interesting. So let the waters do their thing. Let the movement do their thing. You just perhaps continue with your meditative practice. You can still pull cards. You can still connect with the divine. That's not frowned upon. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, but you may get a card or an energy that's like, yeah, like, go for it. Go for what it is that you're trying to manifest or create in your life. And then trust that. Trust what you get. All right, let me shuffle this deck a little bit more. And then I'm going to pull cards about Aries season in general for us. Let me shuffle it just one more time. Ten of Cups. Okay, I like seeing that a lot. Interesting, because the Ten of Cups is Mars and Pisces. And Mars is the ruler of Aries. So there is definitely an Aries, and also we're just leaving Pisces season. So there is an energy here from Pisces that we're carrying. Kind of what I talked about. We're still like on the water, but we're fishing stuff out of it, bringing it to light, right? Okay, so let's get two more cards. We have the Emperor. Interesting, I love that. But the Emperor in reverse. And then one more card, please. The Hermit in reverse. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have Death. Death is Scorpio, and both Scorpio and Aries are ruled by Mars in classical astrology. I know that nowadays with modern astrology, we've placed Scorpio with Pluto. But I work with the tarot and I prefer, honestly, for some reason, the classical astrology more. So I'm gonna go with Mars energy. So again, we're getting a lot of Mars energy, right? With Ten of Cups, which is Mars in Pisces. We have the Emperor ruled by Mars, and we also have Scorpio ruled by Mars. Now, death is transformation. So on the bottom of the deck, that's what we have. We have transformation. And I like looking at the bottom of the deck because to me, that's almost like the underlying energy or perhaps the hidden energy. There's a big transformation going on. Although I both love and hate that word at the same time because I feel like every astrologer and every tarot reader, every time there is a full moon, every time there's a new moon, every time there's something going on, they go, this is the perfect time to manifest and transform your life. And I'm like, okay, not always. Okay, not everything is a perfect time. That's why also I told you guys, feel into the energy first because it might be a great time for you to manifest, but it may not be a great time for others to manifest. I don't know what the cutoff is. I don't know what the criteria is exactly, but you know what I mean? Maybe depending on where you are in your life or your sign or whatever. So 10 of Cups, we love seeing this card. This is feeling satisfied. This is joy and happiness when it comes to life. You know, we have all these cups here. And interestingly enough, the handles, they look like ram's horns, don't they? Like from Aries. Aries is ruled by the ram, or the symbol of the ram. And it's these like rounded horns and they look just like that. So Ten of Cups is just joy, satiety, feeling satisfied, feeling full. That's what it feels like. It's like we're feeling, oh, we will, right? This to me doesn't feel like it's right now, perhaps for some of us, but it feels more in the future. It feels more like towards the end of Aries season, we're gonna feel full. Now here's the challenges because they both came up in reverse. Actually, I wanna point out, look at the colors. They're the same. They're the same colors. This orange, fire, passion energy from Ten of Cups and the Emperor. So here are our challenges. I say challenges because they both came up in reverse. So to me, reversals indicate a challenge. It's almost like the tarot daring you to be like, can you flip this energy upright? Can you take this energy with the death card, transform it, transmute it, and make it upright, make it balanced? You know, for some of us, if you work with chakra energy, I think I think chakras are meant to go clockwise, and sometimes they're feeling counterclockwise or they're static, and then you kind of start doing your hand movement energy work clockwise, and it's supposed to turn the chakra wheel forward the right way, right? Okay. I was trying to see if I could see the chat. I don't know if anyone's commenting, but YouTube is a little different than I'm used to when it comes to like chat or comments. Anyway, so here are our challenges for Aries season. We have the Emperor in reverse and we have the Hermit in reverse. The Emperor, as I talked about, is... Oh, hey, Sasha. How you doing, boo? Okay, I see the hey, boo. Thank you. Okay. It's different than Instagram because like I saw the little heart that you gave and I saw that someone came in, but it, you know how Instagram says like, oh, this person joined your live. It doesn't show me who joined. It just shows like comments. Okay. So the Emperor is the higher self. The Emperor is us feeling pretty confident, saying it with your chest, right? The Emperor, even though he is very masculine energy, as I talked about earlier, like he is the masculine energy, but he's very balanced in his masculine feminine. Because For some of us, we believe that he's the counterpart to the Empress, but for me and what I've been reading about, he's more like the son of the Empress, like he's Horus to Isis. And the Emperor, ruled by Mars, he lives right here, right in the middle of the feminine pillar. Even though it's Mars, we associate Mars with a masculine energy, and he's cloaked in red in the RWS, cloaked in the Mars energy. He's in the middle of the feminine pillar, which means that he's divinely guided by the feminine, which brings in that balance of masculine and feminine. So Aries is about that ram that charges forward, right? Aries is the renewal of spring. He brings in the whole 12-month cycle that we've already gotten into, right? So there is that fascinating, right? Isn't that cool? Yeah, I know. I'm learning more and more about how deep the tarot is. So also the esoteric name for the Emperor is Son of the Morning. And Venus is like the morning star, so there's like a son of the morning kind of thing. So Emperor is our higher self, is us being cloaked and guided by the feminine, but also embodying our masculine energy, our charging forward, our movement forward. There is an account that I love called Symbolic Studies, and they released a reel on Instagram, and it showed like two rams like butting heads, right? What I found kind of very fascinating about that is, one, that person, Mario, I think is his name, he's brilliant the way he talks and teaches. But the rams are butting heads, and there's like that, bah, right? That almost like a thunder crash. But then every time that happens, the two rams, they kind of stop for a second. There's always a pause and reset, right? Because the Aries energy is also fiery. It burns bright, but it fades out kind of quickly. It's not sustainable. God knows, because I start shit, but I never finish them. Now, the Emperor in reverse coming in with Hermit. Hermit is Virgo and Hermit is Earth. So the challenge for us right now in this starting season of this starting new year of new beginnings and renewal of energy and Mother Nature and bringing in the morning, it's almost like if you take the whole year, we're in the morning, right? The sun is rising. Then we kind of get, let's say, when is midday would be around what? Libra energy-ish? Damn cardinal energy. Start everything everywhere all at once. But then let's also not continue in finishing it because we're bored or tired at everything. Because everything is overwhelming. We started everything and then everything got overwhelming. So midday would be around what? Libra energy-ish? And then the sun setting, not even sun setting, but like the darkness of the night, the depth of the night would be Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces energy, right? That's like the deep of the midnight. And then Aries is the sunrise again. Does that make sense? Hope it does. So, because we just talked about the cycle that we're collectively going through, and a lot of us are trying to manifest things. Listen, Aries season is starting out with some bangs, right? Some bangers going on. March 25th, we have this lunar eclipse plus full moon in Libra. Yes, that's where fixed signs come in. So March 31st is Easter. A lot of us are already kind of celebrating Ostara, Ostra, Easterish energy. The March 31st is Easter for anyone that practices, but it's that energy of renewal, of fertility, right? With the bunny and the eggs. April 1st is just a chaos day. It's low-key day. It's Mercury, Hermes. They are the trickster archetype, but tricksters are here to teach us something, to teach us discernment. So Mercury goes retrograde on April Fool's Day, which I think is kind of funny. And then April 8th is where our solar eclipse / new moon in Aries. So a lot of like, I don't know, I just want to do like, coming up for us. Now, very much what Sasha just said, that's where fixed signs come in. Because whatever it is that we're manifesting right now, we are not going to see it 2 weeks from now. If you manifest something on the full moon or the new moon, you're not going to see it in 2 weeks. When you manifest something, let's say the new moon in Aries, you're going to see it again on the next full moon in Aries, which means we're going to see it in Libra season. Does that make sense? About 6 months from now. Sasha is saying, I'm hiding from all the astrological bullshit happening. Don't see nothing, don't want nothing, girl. I feel you. I feel you. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm both hiding from everything. Well, yeah, I've been hiding from everything for a while. But I'm also wanting to embrace it because I just need life to change. So we'll see. But all these eclipses are bringing stuff about. So as I was saying, like, when you manifest something in new moon Aries, you're going to see it again in full moon Aries 6 months from now. So here's where the Hermit comes in, where the Virgo, the earth energy comes in. With Aries, try not to burn bright. Try not to burn out. Because when you burn bright, you burn out quickly. This is about longevity. There is a longevity energy coming through. Also, we have our in-house Scorpio right now. On the bottom of the deck, we have death. So perhaps, even though that's Scorpio season, I don't know if anything in Aries or Mars is happening in Scorpio season, but we have a strong Mars energy going on in these cards, and I'll show you why. But that's the long term, right? We're in April right now. We might not start seeing things until October, October/November. So we're in it for the long haul. We're in it, well, everything. We're alive, right? So life is long. We're already in it for the long haul. But there is a big Mars presence because, so in classical astrology, right, both Scorpio and Aries are ruled by Mars. In modern astrology, we've placed Scorpio with Pluto. But tarot is older than modern astrology, so although modern decks now are expanding, but traditionally, Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars. Then, the first card we got is the Ten of Cups. Hey! We love Ten of Cups, but this is Mars in Pisces. We just left Pisces season, and we have more Mars energy. Hey, Carla, how you doing? Are you a Scorpio as well? Do we have another Scorpio in here? Woo! Okay, also, I want to point out, look, they're the same colors, right? We have the Ten of Cups and the Emperor card. They're the same colors. So, again, big, strong Mars energy coming through for us. Because Mars, in the Tree of Life, Mars is severity, but it's also strength. The word Gabora. Bring on the Ten of Cups, yes. Oh, you are a Scorpio, awesome. So we have two Scorpios going on here today. Okay, so the Hebrew word for this Sephiroth is Gabora. Gabora translates into severity/strength, right? And we are in a strength year. Where is strength? Strength is number 8, and it's Leo. Now, I'm saying Leo, but that really doesn't kind of matter right now for our purposes. We're in an 8 year. What does that mean? 2024, right? You take 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. You add it all up, and it creates 8. If, let's give you guys a little lesson. So do you want to find out your personal number for this year? You take your life path number, minus 5, plus 8. What do we get? We get 14. No. What? Yes. No. Sorry. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's what I meant. Okay. 13. Clearly math is not my strong suit. I knew I had it wrong. Because, so my life path number is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, which is perfect. Because 4 is Emperor, I'm an Aries, and 13 is death. And my north node is in Aries, my south node is in Libra. That's exactly where the nodes are right now until January of 2025. So I know that I'm going through a lot of personal transformation. So perhaps for you, your card might be different. It might be the same, it might be different. Just take a life path number and the number of this year and you get yours. Someone taught me that you actually, for example, my birthday's April 12th. So then what you would do is you do April 12th, 2024. But I don't get 4 and 13. I get 6 and 15 if I go that way. And to me, those don't make sense. Personally, they don't make sense, but they might make sense to you. So I prefer the route of like your life path number plus the number of this year. Okay. What did we talk about? We talked about Emperor and the Hermit. The personal year is birth month, date, and this year. Yeah, that's what somebody taught me, but according to the cards, they didn't make much sense to me. Because I remember it was Lovers and the Devil. And I was like, that's fine, but anyway, two schools of thought that I'm giving you guys. You guys pick one. All right. So again, we're in it for a long haul. We're in it for longevity. I'm gonna pull some Oracle now. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. It's just because like Emperor and Death makes sense to me, but maybe this is the first year that I'm kind of paying attention to these numerology, like personal numbers in the cards. Maybe when the year is over, I'll look back and I'll be like, oh yeah, it was more of a Lover's Devil energy than it was Emperor Death. But just because my North Node and where it is right now, it just kind of makes sense. But who the hell knows? Who knows anything? We're all trying to figure it out. Okay. Interesting, okay. Yeah, I think that less is more is always the way to go, right? Everything coming upside down, y'all. Let's get one more card. Okay. Well, except for one. That's how they've been. So I got one upright and then two reversed. And then this time I got two reversed and one upright. Okay. So this is actually interesting because it kind of makes sense to what we're talking about because I got the Witness in reverse. And as I just said to you, Sasha, that like, oh, I'm definitely gonna look back, a few months in, look back and go like, is this really like an Emperor energy or is more of a Lover's energy, right? When it comes to the personal number and things like that. So I feel like with the Witness in reverse is we're still not quite witnessing. We're not quite being witnesses to our own kind of situation. Perhaps some of us want to like look away. We have the Hermit in reverse, right? And the Hermit is the one that kind of goes in with his lamp into the darkness to like look for things, to figure things out, but he's in reverse. Very similar to the Witness energy, where perhaps we are not quite there yet. We're not quite, in my mind, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Sex and the City, but there's that scene where Carrie and Charlotte is her name. Charlotte, they're like in a conference that's like how to meet people and how to put yourself out there. And Charlotte is like, I'm putting myself out there, but nothing's happening. And the lady is like, maybe you're not really out there. And then you have Carrie grabbing the microphone and going like, trust me, she's out there. I feel like I'm the lady telling you guys, maybe you're not really out there. Maybe we're not really in there, in here, in the depth, in the shadow, figuring things out. Because girl, it's exhausting. Not only emotionally, it's just really time consuming. I was supposed to kind of like do work today. And the lucky thing is that I'm able to postpone it-ish. But I spent all morning journaling. I'm not quite done. I have like I've written 10 pages. No joke. I've written 10 pages on figuring stuff out that's coming up. The metaphor that I used earlier, I think before you guys jumped on, is Pisces is the primordial waters of the cosmos. So what it feels like to me is we are out far in the deep ocean, and we've cast our net deep into the ocean, like deep where the sun doesn't shine anymore, deep into the darkness. And we've fished it out. Actually, we haven't quite fished it out, but I see the net like encircling all these fishes and beings in there. So right now, as we're entering Pisces season, bringing more of that fire. Fire is also illumination, right? We are cranking up, we're on a boat, we're cranking up this net filled with things. And as it comes up into the sun, into the illumination, we're looking down and we're starting to see our own shadow, more of it. Things that have been holding us back, limiting beliefs, blockages, whatever, talents even that we've hidden away, likes and dislikes that we've hidden away, and they're coming up. And it takes time for us to sort through all these things. And I spent all morning today. I was writing for like over 2 hours. I'm not saying, oh my God, I had time. And I'm so dedicated. I'm not saying that, even though I do feel a little bit that way. But I understand how time consuming it is. So I understand why we're like not quite looking at it. We're not really in there. Because it is time consuming and it is kind of emotionally exhausting. We come out of it and we're like, I don't really want to do anything because I'm just kind of spent. Also, I got the upper world in reverse. And in shamanism, there are 3 worlds, right? The middle world is this physical world. Lower world is where our ancestors live, and then upper world is kind of like gods and angels and deities live. Norse paganism has the same thing with the 9 worlds. It's like almost like 3 levels of things. Anyway, many shamanic traditions have that multi-level world. So the upper world is also in reverse. I feel like maybe some of us are not feeling as connected. I mean, we are coming out of Pisces season, and Pisces is watery and just like in the cosmos a bit. But the Emperor is starting the season of spring. Spring is very connected to Earth. So I feel like it's asking us to be grounded. So I feel like the upper world is actually it's saying, even though it came up in reverse, it's not that we're not connected. We always are. But they're like, look down now. I think we've looked up too much recently. We've looked up at the stars. We've looked up at the deities, the gods, and we're praying to things and to beings up there. But I feel like it's now we're look down. Look to the earth. Look to your feet. Weird. Look to your life. You know? One thing that I was journaling about today that I still haven't really quite answered because I don't know what it means is I did a shamanic circle with a friend. Well, she hosted it and I was just the receiver. It's like a breath work, things like that. And at the end, she gives you messages. And one of them she gave me was, your guys are frustrated with you because you're in your own way. I was like, That rings true. I'm in my own way. That it felt right. I just have no idea what that means. Like, how are you in your own way? I get it. I guess limiting beliefs and things like that, but it's like, how do you get out of your own way when you're still working them out? You know what I mean? So final card from this deck is the Journey. I got the Journey card. And very similar to the Hermit, you know, he's kind of going in a journey inward. And also we have, what's his name? Cerberus? Cerberus, I think, right? The three-headed hound, dog of Hades, hellhound. So it's this journey to the self. Is this journey to hell, which is our personal turmoil. It's that journey. But through that personal journey is how we see our turmoil, is how we see really what it is that we're feeling turmoiled by, tormented by. So then we can finally say, okay, I see how I'm being tormented. I see how I'm in my own way. I don't want that anymore. I want to understand how I'm in my way, and I want to understand how to get out of my own way. And then we proceed to do so. But only through that journey of questioning, right? Confusion is a really uncomfortable feeling, but I think confusion brings curiosity, and curiosity brings answers. Well, it brings questions, and the questions brings answers. And I think we have to go through that journey of perhaps some of us are confused right now. Perhaps we're uncomfortable. And it's time to start witnessing this discomfort, kind of sitting with it and being like, and seeing that things are coming up from the waters and like, okay, these things that I'm looking at are making me uncomfortable. But through discomfort is how we start questioning, why is this making me uncomfortable? How do I get out of this discomfort? And the real work is like not even how do I get out of this discomfort, because we can toss it away and try not to look at it, but it's still there. We can ignore it, but really the way out of discomfort is through it. So it is witnessing it. It is sitting with it, right? And it is asking the questions and figuring them out. It is a journey. But I do love the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups gives me hope. Ten of Cups is everything we want in life. Ten of Cups is joy. Is like the keyword in this deck is satiety, which translates to fullness, feeling full, feeling satisfied, you know, looking around and going, I have everything I want. I perhaps even more. I am full, and when I feel empty again, I can fill myself back up. I'm so full I can even pour onto others. We have these lights, even though sometimes they look like spotlight, they're actually meant to be water. Because the cups, they pour onto each other. Fulfillment, yes, that's the word. You know, these cups, they pour onto each other, forming the tree of life, which is this symbol right here. This is our tree of life. Yum, 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 yum. Another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the path on the tree. The path of Aries, or the path of the Emperor, which is this guy. I don't know what deck you guys have, but this is what the Emperor looks like on the RWS and the Thoth. I love them both. But I've been feeling the Thoth lately. She's saying hi. Okay, so the Emperor goes right here. This is the path from Chokmah into Tiferet, which is, in modern Kabbalah, we're placing Uranus here. Uranus, but traditionally, it's actually the whole zodiac wheel that's here. This is like the depth of the cosmos, almost like antimatter. And this is, so it goes from here to here, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the lightning path. That's what it's called. So this is source. This is where the aces live. This is where the 2s live. The number 2s in the tarot if you're going from the minor arcana, from aces through 10. This is where the kings live in the court cards. Also number 2s, and this is Uranus. And Hokmah translates to wisdom. So everything that I talked about today makes sense with wisdom. Because from up here, this is where the supernals live. Oh, shit, okay. So we got the upper world, right? This would be the upper world in Kabbalah. So we have the upper world. The middle world is down here, because this is where Earth is. But this is like the supernals. This is where, like, you know how we talk about oneness, and it's more about the dissolving of the ego and the self, and the, like, where the gods kind of blend with each other. It's all up here. So this is wisdom. And then going down this path into Tiferet, which is the sun, which is 5D Christ Buddha consciousness, illumination, the self, and the center of the whole tree and the center of the universe. That's the path of the emperor. Taking this ethereal, almost ungraspable wisdom and bringing it down into the sunlight. Actually, it's everything that I just talked about when I talked about the depth of the ocean, even though the ocean is like down and this visually is up there. But it's this fish hook that we're like, and then bringing things into the sunlight. That's the Aries path. Is also why he looks so regal, because there is this sense of higher wisdom. My visual right now is like the president of the United States right now, and you know how they have secrets, right? There are national secrets that we civilians have no idea what they know. It's almost like that. Perhaps a poor representation, but it's like the emperor knows things that the rest of us don't. But in the perfect world, the government would be transparent with all of us. And we could understand and vote in an educated way because we know things that they know and all that. But we don't live in that world. But the emperor is that. There is this higher knowledge that he accesses, brings it down to light, brings it into the sun. And the sun is able to radiate out to everything else, right? Because also the emperor is about shining your light, shining your own light, stepping into your light. I mean, look at him, especially in this card. He's just the colors of the sun, right? It's oranges, yellows, reds. Like, that's the color of fire. That's the color of the sun. You know, also there's a sun behind him too, so there's that. So a lot going on with Emperor, a lot going on with Aries, a lot going on with this season. This higher wisdom and going into the sun is all about uncovering the self more and more, right? Getting out of our own way. We're still trying to figure out what the hell that means. Because God knows I don't know what the hell that means. But we're trying to figure it out. Let's pull a final card from each. And then we'll go. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I haven't done many YouTube lives, but I think I want to do this. I think when the season changes, we'll do a lesson like this. We'll do an Aries, Taurus, you know, a bit of a seasoned lesson going on. final card from the tarot. All right, the cards are going bananas. The Sun in reverse. I feel like they're mocking me now. They all came up in reverse. Actually, a lot of major arcana cards. 3 major arcana. We got the Emperor, the Hermit, and the Sun, all in reverse. But that's the challenge of this season. I mean, I get it. Sasha, I know, in reverse. Sasha, you mentioned that like this eclipse season, you're just gonna, you don't wanna know nothing, you wanna do nothing. I get that and I respect that. The challenge of all these reversals is, what about afterwards? You know, after we've gone through the eclipses and the Mercury retrograde, shadow and all that, afterwards, with all the wisdom that we've learned from the depth of the cosmos, what are we doing with that wisdom, right? Getting into the Sun energy is movement. Another reason why I love the Thoth deck is because, actually this one is not a good example because he's just standing there. But the kings, which they don't have kings in the Thoth, they have knights and princes. But the knights, which would be look at this, the Knight of Wands or the King of Wands. Look at this movement, right? Different to the kings in the Rider-Waite-Smith, where they just sit on their throne. This has movement because the divine masculine. This is the masculine pillar. This is the feminine pillar. And also the Emperor is going right to the middle pillar, which also brings balance to both. There is this deep wisdom coming from the cosmos down into action, down into movement, right? So it creates this movement. Actually, it's dependent of our movement. Are we moving? So all these cards coming up in reverse, I feel like it is a tease. It's the challenge of, okay, you're grabbing down all this wisdom. Are you implementing it? Are you moving it forward? Which is also frustrating because I think I am, but then things don't change, and I don't think that I am because of the whole belief that our outer world reflects the inner, right? The law of correspondence in Hermeticism. I took a pause because we got the card of the giveaway in reverse. All reversals. But the giveaway just immediately made me think of like giveaways on Instagram. And I'm like, that's not the message. I don't think that the cosmos is too worried about us doing giveaways on Instagram. But the giveaway to me feels like surrender. So here's the card upright. And we have this kind of angelic person kind of giving. Actually, it looks like she's grabbing the sun, doesn't it? Look at all this, because it's so bright. And it looks like she's kind of grabbing this sphere. It looks like she's grabbing the sun. Actually, maybe she's doing this movement, right? Like she's grabbing from here to the sun down here kind of thing. Giveaways on Instagram. Could you imagine? I don't think that the gods are too worried about that. But the giveaway to me feels like surrender. Like, what are we giving away? You know, I grew up Catholic, so I think there was this, I just heard a lot about, oh, give it to God, right? Yeah, we hunkering down and keeping the sun all to ourselves. Yes, right? I think so. I think there's this grabbing of the sun energy. Right? And I feel like with surrender, with giving away, there's a receptivity going on. There's an energy of receptivity, both back and forth. We ain't got time. We ain't got time for the astrological fuckery that's happening up in the world. So yeah, so I do feel like the giveaway, so contradictory energies, but not really. Because I talked about movement, right? And how we go from cosmic wisdom down into illumination. And that's the path of the Emperor. Emperor is higher self. The Emperor is embodying the best version of ourselves. And then we got the card of the giveaway, which is surrendering. Which to me, surrendering always feels like don't do anything. You know, non-movement, non-doing, non-action. But it's also a lack of my own understanding of what that really means. But it's not about non-action. It's really about surrendering what the outcome looks like. And when there are blocks in the way, right? We call upon Ganesha to remove the blockages, but he also places them. Ganesha also places blocks in our own way for us, because it's his way of saying, not that way, bitch, this way. So the giveaway to me is surrendering, like being able to receive these blocks, being able to receive the no's and going towards the yes. And we're still moving, but we just shift our movement different ways, different directions, depending on what the universe kind of wants us to do and what we want to do. And what we want to do as well. We have to have that vision. You know, we surrender how we get there, but the vision is ours. The vision was given to us. The dream was given to us for a reason. And I don't believe that surrendering means giving up the dream, giving up the vision. It just means giving up how we get there. So stay tuned. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here, for watching the video, for commenting. Always awesome. Always good to chat with everybody. And I hope this made sense to you guys. I hope this helped. And I also hope that this taught you a little bit too, how deep tarot can go. And yeah, just when you pull cards, it can go as deep as you want it to go. And there's so many different ways to look at things. But they all kind of come together at the end, don't they? They all come together at the end. They all relate to each other somehow, in some way, teaching us deeper and deeper. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you guys liked this. It was enlightening. Thank you. I hope you guys liked this on YouTube, because I think I'll be doing this more on here. Just because I have my channel and YouTube is so much fun. That thank you, Carla. Thank you so much, Sasha. Appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, we'll chat more next time. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.